Brothers and sisters, the nigga made it. We made it back one more time. Man, message of the day, the week, the year, the millennia. Man, let me tell y'all something. I had a situation jump off. Uh, the last time y'all had seen me, I had went to work. That same day, the weirdest stuff happened. But we're gonna talk about $2 leadership, but I'm gonna tie everything together. And I was talking to somebody, and I was trying to explain to them what $2 leadership is. Now, I learned this phrase or this terminology when I was in the Marine Corps, right? And the first time I ever heard it, I was at boot camp. I was eight. This has been a long time, y'all. I was 18 years old, and it's 14 years ago. 14 years and some change, and I'll never forget it. One of the drill instructors from the same company but a different platoon happened to be telling Marines about if you don't do it yourself and if you can't do it yourself, right, that's $2 leadership. Meaning, we're in the heat of battle. I'm in my fighting hole. You're in yours 6, 7, 8 feet over. I'm yelling to you, right? I'm the fucking fire team leader. I'm the squad leader. Okay? I'm squad leader. So I'm in charge of 13 men right now. And I'm telling guys, hey, and I'm going to give you an example of what $2 leadership is. I'm telling you, hey, fire team number one, Lance Corporal Sanchez, he's the fire team leader. Lance Corporal Sanchez, hey, get up and take your fire team and charge the line. Now, mind you, we're under heavy fucking fire. Machine guns, mortar fire, artillery fire, okay? It's indirect and direct. Not to mention that there's IEDs laden all throughout this fucking city where we have to go in, kick doors, and clear rooms and shit. I'm being real with y'all right now. I tell Sanchez, he's never seen me in my life ever ask somebody to do something so stupid. Because I'm afraid to die, apparently. I tell Sanchez to take a chance on his life. I'm going to see how dangerous it really is. And let's just assume, for the sake of argument, I cannot stand Sanchez. Yes, because as a leader, you're going to have people under your leadership that you sometimes just don't fucking like. A $2 leader would do some weak shit like that, put somebody in danger to see how bad the danger level really is. I'm willing to sacrifice Sanchez so I go home. Not so that way me and the rest of these guys go home. Sanchez's whole fire team, that whole fire team can go. Okay? The assault gunner, the assistant gunner, the rifleman, and the spotter, they all can go. I don't give a fuck. That's $2 leadership right there, people. Another form of $2 leadership. And I always laugh because sometimes I do stuff that's backwards or that I feel like it's not in my best interest because it doesn't benefit me. It benefits someone else. All out does not benefit me. Right on? Um, that's not a $2 leader. Word? Because I'm the kind of person to tell everybody to hold while I get up and I do whatever I need to do. Okay? I'm gonna get out of my fighting hole, whatever position I'm in, that's you know, nice and bungled down. I'm gonna get out from whatever I assume is general secureness. If not safety, it's secure. Uh and I'm gonna go venture and I'm gonna see what's what. I'm gonna tell my people what the 411 is. And if nothing else, I'm gonna die trying. And the next man up, who's the next man in the chain of command, whether it be by rank or billet, will take my place if I meet my demise. That's the difference. Okay, now boom. Uh, I'm gonna give y'all some of these prime examples of what I see as real life $2 leaders, and they can't even help. See, I work in the food industry, right? At least right now, until I get everything I want to do done. But I'm working in the food industry, and there are more $2 leaders there than any other industry. Some people might say, "Oh no, Meats middle management got more $2 leaders." No, 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 no. I'm gonna tell you why middle management doesn't have more $2 leaders. See, middle management, just like any other form of work that has a hierarchy or a rank or a social system, what happens is the middle management push their responsibilities off on the next able responsible person. It's no different in the military. There are jobs that only a staff non-commissioned officer can can initiate. So the E7 will get orders from the E8 that came from the E9. And that E7 will put all that down to the E6. The E6 can't put it off on the E5. Can you follow what I'm saying? So at some level, this is why I'm saying what I say. Middle management does not have less $2 leaders than the food industry, because in the food industry, you have people who are literally not I mean completely unqualified. And for we don't live in a meritocracy. Um, it's not exactly nepotism because everybody's not related. I can't think of the gentleman's name. He was a congressman, I want to say, right? Some kind of legislator. And for the longest of time, it was what America relied on called the spoil system. And in the spoil system was pretty much, I didn't work for it. You gave me the job. The food industry has the highest level of that right now out of all other industries. There is no industry that has more $2 leaders. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of one. The military industrial complex has a plethora of $2 leaders, but the thing is, they were created to be $2 leaders. Can you follow me? They were brought up as $2 leaders. It's not the same. It's a totally different thing. Uh, Back in the day, the military probably had the most $2 leadership out of anything because food used to be something that people took kind of serious. Uh, when you have 16-year-old children that are shift leads over 30, 35-year-old grown-ups who could be in limbo from one job to another, left the state, relocated, and just trying to work real quick, get it. There's no, in no circumstance do I feel like somebody that is not fully developed physically or mentally have the capacity to lead other grown men, to lead the grown ups, because it might not be a man, it might be a female. I don't believe in that. I've watched it happen. All those places are filthy, nasty, disgusting, in that order. The military, though, is a close second for $2 leadership. And the reason why, and this is why you see the degradation of the training. This is why you see the degradation of the continuity of skills. This last couple years of my life, I've seen more military training accidents than I've ever seen, that I'm talking about, than I ever remember growing up. Ever. In the last couple years, I've seen more people, heard of more people crashing helicopters and killing whole crews of people during training exercises. Unheard of unheard of training accidents. Dying left and right. I I have seen how I know that the food has more $2 leaders though is because the pandemic took place because of food, not because of the military. I don't give a fuck if they created this shit in the lab or not. Nasty ass habits. Okay. Somebody who was not qualified to be a leader is put in a position of leading. Do you know the little Italian spot I was working at? Yeah, past tense, just like that. These dudes, in the state I live, I'm not sure where you guys live. Did you know in Washington State you can legally serve somebody a medium rare pork chop? Did y'all know that? You can serve somebody a mid rare pork chop, rare if they want it. It's their option now. It's their choice. Did y'all hear what I just said? In the state of Washington, I can't speak for no other state in the 48 contingent, let alone the 50 states of the Union, none of the American territories, nothing. I can speak for Washington State. In Washington State, you can legally serve someone a medium rare pork chop. And I ain't talking about one of the penny thin pork chops. No, no, no. We talking like this, like that. We talking one of them, you know what I'm saying, half a pound, 12 ounces. Yeah. And you can serve it where it's not even cooked in the middle. I swear on everything. So they can't tell me that there's not more $2 leadership in the military than there is in cooking. The one industry, and I say this and I stress it all the time, the only industry that gets zero honor, none, not a fucking tiddlywink do they get. I always find it funny. People talk that term, oh yeah, he's just a burger flipper. Bitch, I want to see you flip burgers for 1,000 people. I don't even give a fuck how fast or how slow you do it. I want to see you flip 1,000 burgers. You tell me how easy it is and not get tore up with that grease, that hot, all that shit. Touch yourself on a hot surface, everything. Making sure you're not tearing up the burgers as you flip them. All the things that people believe takes no fucking skill. Right on? All the things that they believe takes zero skill. I could do that. I cook at home all the time. Bitch, you cook for one person. At most, you cook it for 6 or 7, maybe 10 people. And that ain't shit. That ain't shit. Nigga, I might prepare food for 10 people on one ticket. The fuck is you talking about? And I have to get that shit out of there in a timely manner. Mind that fact. Like I said, food has the most $2 leaders because there's no other industry that will let a child come in and become the face of it. They won't do it. There is no other industry that will do that. Food has the most $2 leadership because you have the most unqualified, inexperienced individuals being put in the positions of leadership. Y'all know Andre Wickens, one of my best friends. That's my bro right there. Look, me and bro was chopping it up, and we always talk about this. He and I talk about the work stuff a lot. Of all the things we talk about, this is probably a top 5 topic, at least a top 7. And we're always speaking on how, because where he works at, I'm always like, bro, they just need to make you a manager. And he's like, bro, they just don't want to do that. And short, without him shitting on the hierarchy, he pretty much says like they have a revolving door of guys that used to be managers, not at AT&T. This nigga was a manager at Domino's Pizza, but he was a regional manager. So now he get to come in and be a manager at AT&T. And he was telling me how, you know, his ex-wife, his wife, how where the job where she works, she says that he told me that the model that they follow for the AT&T is the same model that they're following at a hospital for business. Now, mind y'all, the people who ruined the stuff first, I'm not going front. They didn't come from food. But the food industry let those people in, and those people have ruined everything. And I just can't help but to like point out how the pandemic started with food. It didn't start because of the military industrial complex. Right on? It didn't. Now, did it start because the military industrial complex pays certain companies, and certain companies have vested interests and looking into a certain I'm not gonna say they're looking into chemical warfare all out, but it's that kind of thing, biological warfare. Like they pay for that kind of stuff. They want to know what different agents do to the body, right? So, but that even being said, the pandemic spread, the COVID happened because people were half cooking and under preparing food, and then they had it being prepared in unsanitary conditions. So there was a bunch of 17, 16-year-old, 15-year-old so-called fucking leaders, right? Working at McDonald's, working at Pop. If y'all ever wondering why some of those places got shut down, like in mass, it's because they had children in the position of being a leader. Right. Nigga, they're 17. Their whole life is ahead of them. They don't give a fuck about Wendy's or Jack in the Box or none of that. They're looking at that job like a stepping stone. I know people to this day who work at fast food places. Some of them making six figures a year, some of them making a little less than six figures a year, making excellent money. Now, granted, they work really hard and they worked really hard to get to that position, right? But the idea that you want me to believe that a business that'll say, okay, I'm going to give a 16-year-old $50,000 this year, as opposed to paying that to an adult age individual. I'm going to put insurmountable pressure on this little child. Translation, they're going to start acting crazy with these adults if they don't have a high level of maturity. These adults are going to be like, as opposed to putting their hands on a child, they're just going to let them know I'm out of here. Or they're just going to quit and just walk off and leave. And they're going to go from, okay, JoJo quit. All right, Tyrone quit. Okay, DeAndre quit. Okay, Missy quit. We done lost all these people over this month. And the people that they get to come back in, their age. Right on? Hiring manager hiring a bunch of, oh, we'll just get people who are young like them. They get those youngins in there like that, and then they run that business into the ground. You show me a business. You show me a business. Again, you show me a business that's considered Fortune 500, Fortune 100, that has a bunch of children running around. McDonald's learned the hard way from letting children be shift leaders. That's why when you go into them, there'll be a bunch of old people working in these places now. They learned the hard way. Like I told you, this little nigga's whole life is ahead of him. So they're $2 leadership ass ways, right? They don't. They're thinking, oh, I'm just like fuck it. They're not realizing you're destroying a local economy. You're helping to put your local economy where you live at. But once again, their whole life ahead of them. They feel, I'll just leave. I'll move. I'll go somewhere else. So they'll fuck shit up, then leave, and leave you to deal with it. That's the sort of leadership that is $2 worthy. $2 leadership. The greatest example of it that I saw from a president comes from President Joe Biden. Um, people forget how we left Afghanistan. People forget that was a debacle. That was a complete, utter debacle. That was $2 leadership on display. You had. Does anybody remember the fucking video with the people trying to hold on to the jet and they're falling off midair? Nobody remember that but me. That's $2 leadership right there. They promised all those people's visas. All those people's betrayed Afghanistan. The traitors. No disrespect to nobody. I'm calling it how I see it. But if that movie, The Covenant, is about with Jake Gyllenhaal, it's a new movie. Check it out if you haven't seen it. The movie's pretty damn good. Got a lot of Hollywood fuckery in it, but there's a lot of real life moments where you're like, that's highly relatable. Check me out. And that movie is the only movie that epitomizes the treachery that the United States government involved themselves within. All right. You have people who literally have their whole families murdered, massacred for helping the United States. And for what? for the chance at a visa? $2 leadership, people, put you in those kind of positions. People are like, what you talking about, Meech? The Taliban's are $2 leaders? Yes, in short. Their unwillingness to cooperate with their own people put them in the position that they were in. Crazy how 20 something years later, now they're like, you know what? Letting little girls get educated might not be the worst thing ever. Wow, bro. You could have saved 1,000,000 lives. They could have saved 1,000,000 lives or better. And in the whole region, they could have saved millions of lives. And just said, yeah, we'll let them read. We'll let them read and write. We'll even let them fucking drive cars. Whatever. Who cares? The real important shit we won't let them do because they understand why. And when they start to encroach that, we'll just say that they're not real Muslims. That would have been way easier to do. Much easier to do. But when you have motherfuckers who've been living in a cave their whole life, oh, I'm taking digs, I'm taking shots. Yes. How great is their leadership? How great is your leadership, homie? You can't even provide water and bread. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing else. Right. This is why these dudes was being treacherous and lecherous in the first place. This is why they were willing to become translators in the first place. Right. Oh, you don't think some of those first translators were guys who were like, I want my daughter to be able to read one day, drive a car. We're going to do America. All right, nigga. All right. All right. You're doing that to yourself, though. Nobody else done that to you. Mind the fact that $2 leadership is not just the exhibition of lackluster skills needed. Leading is not just telling somebody what to do. A leader is somebody who takes less bread than everybody else. Right on? He feeds all of his people. He'll get his in the end. I either get mine first, or I won't get right, or I'll wait to get what I get. And when I get mine first, I'm still taking a moderate portion compared to I'm taking something like what a large child would get, not what a large man would get. Right on? Because I need all my people to eat. I want the young ones to eat first, get their fill, because they don't need as much. Then I want the women to eat because they don't need as much. And then I want the men to eat. And you'll take what's left. That's a leader. Okay. That's not $2 leadership right there. $2 leadership. I mean, prime example. Prime example. People drop off aid all over the earth. Red Cross, UNICEF, uh, 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 Red Moon, whatever. Right on. All of them. They're all same. Only difference is there's varying degrees of $2 leadership. So I take one of these aid crates and I drop it in, let's say, the Sudan. Right? Okay, now you have people in the Sudan, rebels, regular people, right on, government officials or government bodies, all interested parties. Now, the most organized and the most honorable parties are always going to do their best to make sure that the people who they know need those supplies the most get them. Yes, I have troops that I need to take care of. Yes, my men need to know that their welfare is just as important, if not more important, than the mission accomplishment. However, there are regular people that need us. Right on. There's people who are they're just regular people and they need us. So we're gonna take these supplies to them. But you know what they typically do with their $2 leader asses? That's right. We're gonna take all these supplies. I'm gonna take the best of them. My men barely gonna get anything out of this, right on. And then I'm gonna pretty much create a vacuum, right? Every time. This is what they do all over the earth. Yeah, it's not unheard of for warlords to take right to take the same aid that they would kill the people and say you're a traitor, you're non-patriotic, whatever the fuck. They'll kill those people and take and use that same medicine. Take and put on them same clothes. while calling those people who wanted to use it unpatriotic. That's a $2 leader right there. Your president, not my president, your president. This dude is the definition of a $2 leader. But see, but I can't knock him because the guy before him is a $2 leader. Obama might have a whole 10 pennies more and physical worth than a $2, but he is virtually a $2 leader. He didn't do shit. The shit he could have done, you boosted faggot rights, and Obamacare only really helps people who have, health conditions and are old people. That's it. If you're young and healthy, you really don't need Obamacare. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. Uh, all the people I look up to never got a colonoscopy. All of them. Talking about all the real ones in that book. None of them bent over a table and let somebody violate them. I'm talking about checking on your prostate. None of them. Right. So you're not gonna tell me that's normal. That's not normal. That's $2 leadership right there. Faggot ass dude thought that up. A homosexual thought of that. Either way, they're gonna have to invade you. So why not just go and just check on my shit the other way? They give people catheters and shit like that all the time. Big whoop. I don't know why either. Right, but they'd rather violate a grown ass man. $2 leadership. But anyway, back to these weak ass presidents that do. The one that's serving and the one that was right before him for official $2 leaders. And I'm gonna break down why Trump is the greater $2 leader, but Biden is the current $2 leader. So in the current $2 leadership atmosphere we're in, look at you, dude. Right now, we're all give a fuck what people say. I don't believe that there'll ever be a nuclear fallout. Fallout. I do believe, like I said before, in years past, that there will be some place that is nuked eventually, and they go from there. But I believe in tactical EMP nukes. That's what I believe in. That's what I believe Russia has worked its fleet up to. That's what I believe the Iranians are working on. That's what I believe the North Koreans are working on, because it's just far more believable that those nations would be willing to, I won't say sacrifice, but if you want to use the word sacrifice, they're more willing to sacrifice some of themselves in order to shut down any defense systems that America might possibly have. Um, I just need y'all to understand this. In a real life nuclear fallout, Britain, Israel, all that shit over there, gone. That's gone. Yeah, you can go ahead and that's gone. The only way you could really nuke the US for sure, like and get it done the right way, you'd have to have submarines off the coast. Okay, and then you'd have to have people that are infiltrated in the highest levels of government. If they don't have access to nuclear codes, they're the pilots that are trusted to deliver the ordnance. Right, this shit's deep. This shit's deep. That's where we're at though. Biden's $2 leadership has brought everybody who lives in a place. I live in Washington. That's a nuclear target. California is a nuclear target. Virginia is a nuclear target. New York's a nuclear target. Texas is a nuclear target. Right on. You could argue North Carolina ish is a target, but I'm thinking of like like when you hit these spots, it's really gonna hurt. I could claim that Florida nuclear target just because of their proximity to Cuba, and people forget that Cuba is a nuclear powered nation. Right on. People forget that part. They really do. So it's just like the most realistic situation for any of this stuff to happen. I don't see them all out hot war. Nah, not all out. Because now you're talking about sacrificing some of your leaders who might not have time to get to one of your secret underground bases, so that way they don't get shelled on. I mean, unless it's just worth, once again, that not $2 leadership, you might sacrifice somebody that you really need. I don't know. But it doesn't look good for Biden on his half. And I told everybody this years ago when they were having a presidential run. I was like, neither Trump nor Biden are real life, you know, dyed in the wool Americans. Neither one. No, neither one. Neither one is a tried and true American. Right. Trump. Let's just talk about D. Treasy again real quick and why he's the shittier $2 leader. This dude almost upended whatever you think democracy is. Nigga almost upended it cuz in a 30-minute process on January 6th. Almost undid the whole damn thing. Almost undid it in one hit. And people will never bring up the fact that his mother's an immigrant. And people will never bring up the fact that his father is the child of an immigrant. Trump is a glorified immigrant. Right. He's the greater of the two. He's the greater of the two $2 leaders. For sure. There's no he Biden will only compare to his $2 leadership if somehow, some way, shape, and form, the Chinese invade Taiwan while Biden's in the White House. Right on. But if they can invade Taiwan, if China can go invade Taiwan before D. Treasy has a chance to even run at it again, sorry, Joe's gonna take the cake all the way. He's gonna take the cake all the way. He's going to take the cake all the way. Not only will Russia have invaded, I use that term loosely. Not only will Russia have defended its sovereignty with the alleged invasion of Ukraine, China will be maintaining its sovereignty through taking action against Taiwan. Now, I've been the only person that I know. I said years ago that they're going to invade Taiwan. Right when they invaded Ukraine, I was like, oh man, it's just a matter of time. And each day we get closer to the inevitable truth. So it won't be like, oh, it was prophetic. It was prophetic because I said it, I meant it, I stood on that. But it won't be like I picked this exact day, this exact time. No, 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 no. That's not a prophecy. It's just me being analytical and observant to the situation and the climate and the atmosphere that we're currently within. That being said, the $2 leader that Trump is so garbage that as opposed to this dude, once he's seen what was happening, and that's why I'm telling you, he's not American. He's anti-America. He's anti-America. If Trump had served in the military, I would not say nothing. If one of his sons had served in the military, I would not say nothing. When all y'all get done talking, Joe Biden, his son, Beau Biden, rest in peace, may the man rest in peace. He seemed like he was actually half decent. I don't know about his past dealings and how he felt about blacks. I really don't give a damn. As far as how he presented himself, he seemed like he was half decent. He seemed like he's the son that Joe Biden wanted to go on the campaign trail with him. Where people like shit, Beau, because that's the one he wanted to become the guy. Brain cancer took him out, and God, ironically, left him with Hunter, the shitty one, right? But Biden can at least hang his hat on saying, like, look, man, my son served this country. Word? What can Donald Trump Jr. say? What can Eric Trump say? Right on? Nothing. They got nothing to say. Nothing. That's my point. For how patriotic these guys are, you motherfuckers haven't broke a sweat for America. Fuck shedding blood. You niggas ain't shed no tears or no sweat for America. And you talking about choosing American? Nigga, please. Right. You better get your ass in line, dude. Them people that get fucked up at the border are more American than Trump will ever be. At least they bled for this shit. Oh, people hate to hear that. At least they bled for it. least they had to fight for it. He had to fight for nothing. Everything was given to him his whole life. Right. It's hard to not think you're a winner when you have everything. I must be a winner. Caveat. If Trump says to those people before January 6th, on January 6th, we're going to show up, we're not going to protest, we're going to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. The words I'm looking for, all the words I could use, all sound combative. We're just gonna show up on January 6th. In March. So I don't know. Maybe you just don't tweet. Maybe you just don't tweet that dumb shit. And nigga, you could have listen, he could have lost no matter what, right? He could have not said shit about them. He could have even alluded to them stealing, like, I don't think it was fair. I think something funny was going on. And check this out. His chances for winning presidency right now would be 100%. It would be a landslide victory type of thing. This dude's leadership is so $2 like. Colorado said, nigga, we taking your bitch ass off the ballot. And I heard from a little birdie. Now I can't verify this, but I heard from a couple little birdies though. But one of them is higher up in that field. And they were saying, hey, if they can successfully remove this man, and once it goes to the Colorado Supreme Court, if the Supreme Court of the state of Colorado says that's final, other states, not every one of them, but other states might follow suit. If there's enough states to follow suit where he could not get enough electoral college votes, they effectively ended his campaign. Then you're going to be voting for the next worst piece of shit. Now, I'm not saying that the fix is in. They're trying to make it to where Biden's in the White House now for another 4 years, right? We'll have collectively have 16 years in the White House. Think about that. People forget about his first 8 with Obama being the vice president. I mean, people really forget about that shit. This dude spent 1 term out of the White House, y'all. 1. Think about that. The dude been in the White House for 12 years. The last person I know to get that kind of time in the White House, his name was Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Now, granted, he was the president the entire time, but I'm just saying, I'm just throwing that out there. The last time I knew anybody to have that much time, especially that close to like almost absolute power. Dude, you went from being a vice president for 8 years, now you're a president, and they're talking about you possibly getting a second term, even though you're on your death legs? The fuck out of here. But $2 leadership in all these communities will have people thinking it's better to vote for him and hope for the first woman president. Is that what people really want? Kamala can't run on this dude's ticket again. So who running with him? Now, that shit would make me think it's rigged. That would be like, this is $2 leadership right here. You cannot prove to me this shit is not fake. What's up, bruh? What's good, man? Now, one of the greatest problems that I have is it's not that D Treasy's a punk ass dude. That's nothing. We've been talked about how he was white trash in the White House. That's nothing. My biggest issue with the Trump situation, like I said, he didn't man up on it. Right on? He didn't just say, you know what, I fucked up. All out. That was a mistake. But like I told everybody, and if you don't believe me, I'm gonna have to go get the video where I break down Trump's lineage and Biden's lineage. Okay, I break both of it down, and I break down how Trump's great grandfather, Friedrich Trump, came from Germany or Bavaria, or whatever you want to say. And he only left because there was a war going on and he didn't want to fight in that war. So he came to America. Okay. He met Fred Trump's, Donald Trump's grandmother's, Fred Trump's mother, Donald's father's mother. He met her in America. When the war was over in Germany, they went back, okay, to Bavaria. And then what happened was they said, look, we're revoking your citizenship for cowardice. They said this, not me. Boom. So what happens after that is Friedrich comes back to America and he decides to he's hurt. I'm gonna break it down to y'all. I'm gonna give you the people emotions of what took place. The man was so hurt that his own country would deny him that when he came back to America, salute, brother. What's good? What's up, brother? You know, and man, it was Murder She Wrote after that. They made sure they got good accents. Right on. No more German names. No more Friedrich. Right? That's done. Fred. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Right? It's no longer Friedrich. It's Fred now. Right? Boom. Skip past that. Fred is a grown man. World War II is happening. He understands that the German people are the villains. What does he do? He denies his German ancestry and says that he's Slavic in order to keep the business with the Jewish people he had already had business with. You don't believe me? Look it up. That being said, that's one side. Mind you, that's one half of the coin. The other half is the Biden half. Biden's immigrant ancestors on his father's side come to America in like the 1870s. Okay, right? So maybe 20 years before Trump's people's here, Biden's people's here. 1850s, because they're here about 10, 12 years before the Civil War. Boom. Civil War jumps off. They lose one of their children to the Civil War, right? They lose. They lost a son. They said, all right. So the Bidens, whatever their real family name was back then, they said, no, we smarter than that. So the other son, this is Joe Biden's I want to say great grandfather. Great grandfather. Here we go. Boom. They say this man's a blind fiddler. The blind fiddler goes on to have a child. That child is the father of that's right, it's his great grandfather. That child is the father of Joe Biden's grandfather, okay? His fraternal or paternal bloodline. Joe Biden's maternal bloodline wouldn't get here till after the Civil War was already done and over with. You follow what I'm saying? Now, however, on either side, now this is where I try to tell people, if you're talking about who's a real American over who, Biden wins that battle every time. There's no way he loses it. It's impossible Biden loses the real American war versus Trump. There's just no way. When you just look at their family history, one guy actually can say, man, we had people from our clan who fought in the Civil War. Trump can never make that claim. It's impossible. No one in his bloodline was in this land before then, and the people that come from his bloodline, by the time they got here, those conflicts are already over. Full steam ahead into the Industrial Revolution. So when I say what I say about Trump, I'm standing on all 10 toes in both my feet. And I ain't standing on the balls of my feet. I'm nice and flat-footed so I can hit somebody hard. I don't need to bounce around for this. We're just going to stand in a pocket and exchange. Now, that being said, that individual named Donald J. Trump is less American than somebody who's down at the border right now getting cut up on one of those barbed wire razor floaties in the damn water. They're more American than he'll ever be. They'll have shed more blood than he'll have ever shed for this country. That's a fact. And I hate to say it because I can't stand them coming up in here. But they're more American than him. No skin in the game. Never had to make any sacrifices for this country. Dude is a known sociopathic liar. Right. Joe Biden, his number one knock on him, The number one knock on Joe Biden, you guys know what it is that when he first ran for president, he tried to plagiarize another man's work. Right on. Since then, I could never take Joe Biden serious. I learned that shit in high school. I could never take him serious. Not I. Not Demetrius Antoine Jones from Clan Griffin. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. My great grandpappy, Clay Abercrombie, rolling in his grave. Let me think a thought like that. Anyhow, my point is this. When you have a guy like Biden and you have a guy like Trump, and they're both $2 leaders, whose $2 is worth more? Some whiskey called Kaigen. I'm pretty sure it's a Japanese whiskey. It's a Japanese blended whiskey. Some good stuff. Anyway, check me out. I'm positive neither $2 carries you. Doesn't matter. $2 is $2. It's just right. And people want me and you to choose whose leadership is worth more. One guy almost upended democracy. Literally, like with his fingers. Just like y'all hearing that in the background, right? Just like you're hearing that ruckus in the background. That's how the $2 leadership of these dudes make me feel sometimes. That shit couldn't have been better time. That could not have been better time. That's how I feel about their $2 leadership. We should be sounding the alarm on this stuff. Just like that. Belligerent and all. That is what we should be doing. But nobody's doing this to Trump's leadership. Nobody's doing it to Biden's leadership. Nobody says what I just said, that this is the state we are in. It is an emergency. I've seen crazier stuff happen, like I told y'all, with this military shit. In the last 2 years, 3 years, I've seen more deaths training than I have ever seen in my whole life. That's because of the leadership. And it starts at the top. Yes, it does. Morale starts at the top. Okay? Troop welfare starts at the top. And when you abandon your post as a leader, when you forego your responsibilities in the sense of aggrandizing self or in the sense of escaping accountability, right? You've created once again, that's how you create vacuums. That is how you create the vacuum. It's not an incident or an accident. It's very, very, very much well deliberate. For anybody that's gonna go vote this voting season, because y'all know I'm not voting. Y'all know I don't vote. Y'all know I don't believe in voting. Right on? I don't believe in that. Because I don't have to vote for the rain. I don't have to vote for carrots to grow. I don't have to do that shit is fake. It's not fucking real, dude. It's not real. It's not real. It's a tangible thing. But people act like voting is going to change their blood pressure. If voting was that effective, we should vote for everything. If it was real, yeah, vote your blood pressure down. Yeah. Yeah, vote that down. Huh? I ain't gonna say nothing else negative or what seems like it's negative, because people could take that a negative way. But I'm saying though, they act like it's real, but the shit that matters to you the most, you can't vote it away. Right. Did they vote with the Native Americans when they got here? Did they hold massive councils and assemblies, and you know what I mean, of all the different federations of the indigenous people of America? Is that how they did it? Was there a council like that? I mean, shit, I must not know American history because I thought they showed up and just started killing and murdering right off rip. And when they got conquered by the land, that's when they acted like they needed the native people. Then once the native people showed them just enough, they started acting a fool again. That's American history. Their $2 leadership started before they ever got here. They learned from the worst. They learned from the absolute worst. And yet they got everybody wrapped around their fingers, engaged in things that will not change a damn thing. I told a friend of mine one time, and we went to the store. We was hungry. I was like 20 years old. I'll never forget this. We walked into the store. I opened up a bag of chips. I just started eating it. He's like, "Bro, what are you doing?" He's like, "That's theft." I said, "No, it's not, nigga. I'm in the store. And as long as I don't leave without paying for them, it ain't theft." Now, did I pay for them? No. But I wanted him to understand. Look, bro, I'm hungry. Right on. I'm gonna eat. I'm not gonna starve. You can say, "Oh, that's you're a thief. You're a thief." So you would rather me starve than me steal? Is that what you're saying? Especially if I ask for help before that. Especially if I don't plead for it, but I ask for it gracefully, seeking the mercy of another. I'm supposed to let and wait with all this food around me. I could just go in there and just take it. It's mine. It's there for the taking. Right. That might not sound good to people, but I'm not a $2 leader. Right on? By example, I lead. I don't want you to starve. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make sure you eat. People are like, "Oh, that's wrong. Oh. You live in a nation where they took everything from everybody else, from the people that were here originally. And I don't see none of you bitch ass niggas getting up in arms about it. And I'm not calling my people bitch ass niggas. I'm talking about those who come here who steal and abscond, take the information and then use it in evil ways. Right. Always laugh about that kind of stuff. It always makes me laugh. I always think it's funny. Because guess what? They would rather you be a loser. Get a job. Really? Really? Where was that energy at for the people who came and crash landed on this motherfucker? Where was your get a job energy for them? No? I'm lying? Right. Oh, me too. That's just how it was. That happened. That's in the past. I've been going at it for 52 minutes now. Can you hear me? I've been going at it for 52 minutes now. 53, however long, because the timer's fucked up now. All of a sudden, the timer don't want to act right. Listen, however long I've been going at it, right? Whenever I started at the initial point till now, everything in between it is the past. So I should just forget all about that, right? It already happened. When people like you talk like that, I get disgusted with myself because I say they didn't learn that from me. So who's telling them this? And then I go and I listen to individuals who want to be like their swine-tillion counterparts so badly that they'll say things in hypocrisy, not realizing that they were being a hypocrite. Let me give you a prime example. If I take both sides of an argument, and I'm telling you that the devil takes both sides of an argument, but now I'm taking both sides, am I any less of the devil than the devil himself? Will somebody please answer that? Anybody? If I tell you the devil does something, then I myself engage in that same activity. Am I any less the devil than the devil himself or the devil herself? Yes or no, somebody? And that's just real quick. No, right? Exactly. So my point being this: if I'm no less of the devil, I'm no less of the $2 leader that this punk ass nigga is. How can you not look at me and say, This dude's tripping. How could you not? You have individuals who've made it their point to call themselves thought leaders. You cannot lead me in thought if I can't see your face. Number one, you could never, because I need to see what you physically. That's why I show you guys what I look like. I'm not some big, fat, fluffy, fucking can't see my dick type of motherfucker. Okay? No, that's not what you're dealing with here. There's a reason why you get to see me. No disrespect. I'm not some fat nigga in a basement wearing a beret. Can you hear me? From my glory days. No. I'm a real one. The reason why I let you see my face, I allow it. Because they don't allow you to see their faces. They don't even want you to see their faces. Because a lot of the time, what I think these dudes are, right, fluffy and out of shape. Most of the time, they're fluffy and out of shape. Most of the time. In the worst case, though, might be a half breed, quarter breed, trying to tell you about black people. And you would be disgusted to have listened to somebody like that for so long and thought that they're not a leader. You They can't tell you what to think and they can't tell you what to feel. If they wouldn't tell you that stuff face to face, why would you listen to them on a computer tell you that? Again, if I'm trying to control the narrative and I'm willing to tell you XYZ, but I won't tell you ABC, am I any less of the devil that I told you to be aware of? Because that devil will tell you about ABC, but not XYZ. But at least I told you about XYZ, right? $2 leadership. I don't depend on nobody for my daily bread, but the Most High God. I don't believe in Allah. It's not a real God to me. It's not my God, and it's not the God of the Hebrews. I would challenge anybody to a physical confrontation if you think that they're the same. And I guarantee you, the Most High God is going to let me best you. And I wouldn't try to punch your teeth out, but I would try to lump your forehead up some, just because I know you're wrong. So we're going to punch some sense into you. That kind of shit. Ain't nobody going to tell me that Allah and the Most High are the same. They're not the same. A $2 leader would have you to believe that they're the same God. Again, they're trying to control both sides of the narrative. They get mad when I say that white Jesus, he believe in the laws. It don't matter what color you make Jesus. The dude in the book believes in the laws of Moses, believe it or not. And he's not a $2 leader. And check this out. This is how I know that people know that the real Christ is the gangster. What did they charge those people with on January 6th? What's the word, y'all? I'll type it in the comment section just in case nobody knows. The word is insurrection. That's the word. That's the word. Insurrection. A violent uprising against an authority or government. You know what another word for it is? Rebellion, revolt, uprising, mutiny, revolution, insurgents. Guess who was charged with insurrection? That's right. Jesus guy himself was charged with an uprising, a mutiny, a rebellion, a revolt, an insurgent. And yet they don't understand why why the people on January 6th feel like they did the right thing. Right. They liken this dude Trump to Christ already, even though he's not Christ. See, Jeshua, Yehoshua, Jesus was not a part of a governing body of the locality. He was against the governing body of the locality. Difference between him and Trump. Jesus was tried for insurrection. Trump is not being tried for insurrection. Being tried for tax fraud and other bullshit. They're using the 14th Amendment as grounds, but he's never physically been charged with insurrection. So that's how I know that he's not like the Christ. Well, anyway, man, y'all. Anyway, once again, you would let a nigga control your mind. You would let somebody control how you think. Those are your thoughts. They belong to you. I'm telling you what I think, what I feel. That's it. I'm telling you what I heard from somebody else or what they think or what they feel. That's it. You take what you can use, you discard the rest. That's it. I always tell people I would prefer for you to challenge what I say than for you to take it and just accept it every day of the week. I've never not been like that. I've always been like that. So I cannot stand the idea, the fact that just the concept that right now here I am and I can't even get, the gratification. One second, y'all. Time for some red wine. I can't even get the gratification I need for all things that I think are important. I can't know that they're important. I know what I feel. I know what I believe. I can't say that I know that me reading the Bible is important. It's important to me, but I can't say that it's important to somebody else. So when I'm in a situation where I'm doing my best to be dealable, right? I'm doing my best to be amicable, and here they are making it difficult on the brother. $2 leadership. What is it? It's not $5 leadership, and it sure ain't $10 leadership. I'll tell you that much. It might be better than $1 leadership, but $1 leadership is so rare, right on, that it's hard to even talk about $1 leadership. But $2 leadership prevalent throughout all the land. I'm going to compare Donald Trump and Joe Biden to fast food workers, and you guys will understand what I'm talking about. Joe Biden is the kind of person who's a shift crew leader that will send out the wrong orders on purpose to keep the flow going. He knows there's going to be a number of people who come back and complain, but he also knows there's going to be a number of people who accept it. That's Joe Biden. Oh, I'm trying to give y'all the game, just in case y'all ever wonder how the fuck did I get the wrong order? Because they probably gave you the wrong one on purpose. They're going to apologize if you come back and tell you how sorry they are, but they gave you the wrong one on purpose. That being said, boom, Trump. He's the kind of guy that when he's running low on something, as opposed to 86 in it, he'll try to force thaw it or he'll try to force it to be ready. So the integrity of it is not the same. You're like, damn, why my burger tastes not, it tastes all right, but it don't taste juicy like no, because he took a frozen patty right from frozen. Shit wasn't thawed at all. Boom, and threw it right on the skillet, right under the flat top. Because some places don't use frozen patties. Some places use thawed beef. It just depends on what their way is. But if you go and you get a place that gives you fresh beef every time, or at least thawed beef, and then you get a frozen, they taste different. Anybody that's ever ate and knows they're eating knows that a frozen patty does not taste the same as a not frozen patty. And you don't believe me? Go get you a pack of them frozen joints from the store and go get you a pack of them fresh joints out the store and cook you one of them fresh patties and cook you one of them frozen ones and just taste the difference. One's juicier than the other one. You know what I'm saying? One's drier than the other one. One is fatter, more robust. It might be slightly smaller in the radius, but it's just juicier, more robust. Right on. But the other one is like, is meh. That's who D Treasy is. D Treasy would rather force out a bunch of not ready product or shit that is just going to be subpar, and he don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter which one of those leaders you make them; those are who you're dealing with. That's who you have at the helm. Notice, notice, there are no black people. Trump wasn't a politician. Trump was not a politician before he ran for presidency. I repeat, Trump was not a politician before he ran for presidency. So you don't need to be a politician to run. You don't. Why aren't they saying Denzel for president 2024? You don't think he'd be more capable than Joe Biden? Man, what's up, nigga? Man, you ain't missed nothing. All you missed was me trying to break my holy spiritual foot off on the necks, faces, and the backsides of all the wicked ones. But check me out and just keep listening, and you'll get filled in. So $2 leadership is the, like I said, $1 leadership is so hard to find, but $2 leadership is everywhere, and $2 leadership is most prevalent in food places because you and I both know they'll let a teenage child run the whole show into the ground. Right on. Now, I'm not going to get carried away with the cooketh or the booketh, but just to give background to what I was saying to everybody earlier, just in case they didn't catch it all the way. If I were cooking the books, only if I were cooking the books, I repeat, if I were cooking the books, I would want a bunch of young people in charge. Because it's easier to blame their ineptitude for the fall of the business than to have somebody who's actually competent at the helm where you don't have a reason for that to be the reason. You don't, the books are good. You're in the black technically, but you're really in the red because you got some funny shit going on the side. Right on? Things like that. So $2 leadership, and people are like, you make a if I have to give a definition, don't type it. Like I said, $2 leadership is any leadership that's less than $5 leadership and damn sure less than 10. Can you hear me? No person you're ever going to meet on this earth has better than $10 leadership. The greatest fathers don't have better than $10 leadership. They don't. They don't. They wish they did. They wish they had $100 leadership. You know, that's that Moses level. Okay? That whole 100, that's that Moses level. You can get nobody close to that, bro. There ain't nobody been close to that in such a long time. The last $10 leader that I know about, that I know that I know about, his name was George Carver, greatest American hero. Let me repeat myself. The last $10 hero that I knew about, the last $10 leader that I knew about, his name is George Carver. George Washington Carver, born as George in 1864, who would become known as the Plant Doctor at the tender age of 6. You better leave me alone. Yeah, we ain't had no real leaders in a long time. People are like, you're not a real leader? I don't claim to want the hell. If they have to have a leader, I'm the leader. Fuck it. I'm at least a $4 leader working on my $5 leadership. Okay. I'm at least a $4 leader working on my $5 leadership. I got some numbers to go before I get to $10 leadership. Like I said, that's that's a tough one. That's a task and a half for me. Do I think I got $10 leadership in me? I think I got $20 leadership in me. I think I got more leadership than the greatest leadership I've ever known about. It just has yet to manifest. When it does manifest, then we'll get to see. But for right now, we'll say it's $4 or $5. But I don't try to lead people off of cliffs. I lead people into the light. I know the light hurts your eyes when you first see it. So you can't think I did you a favor. If you lived in the darkness your whole life, there's no way you could think a person did you a favor bringing you into the light. There's no way. But I'd rather them think I'm a no-dollar leader than an any dollar. I'd rather them think I have worthless leadership. It's worthless. It's so worthless that niggas copy me all over the internet and wherever else they copy me at, and they take this shit and they use it in their everyday life. That's how worthless it is. They get to see somebody. They get to see I'm the fruit of the labor of doing the work. Am I big and muscular and looking like I eat steroids? No. I mean, I'm kind of muscular, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm not all fucking jacked and shit. Like, no. Am I the tallest guy? No. Am I super duper light skinned? No. Can I claim to be chocolate? Unfortunately, no. Right? You see what I'm saying? But I'm me, and I stay me, and I've been me, and I'm happy to be me. I'm proud to be me because I could be anybody else, but this is who I am. I could be anything else. Could have been born a chicken, an ant, a worm. God could have put the same energy into anything else. The same mindfulness, the same thoughtfulness into anything else. But he put it into the vessel of a man. And he didn't put it just into the vessel of any kind of man. He put it in the vessel of a man that allegedly, and I say allegedly heavily, allegedly might be one of the bastard children of Israel. I say bastard because we'd have to know who our real progenitor is, who we actually came from. See, says, oh, we all come from Adam. Okay, well, once you get outside of Adam and you get into the bloodline that we know that made it to this side of the flood, which one of those three men did you go back to? Everybody's not a Hamite or a Kaphite or a Camite. Everybody's not a Japhetite. Everybody's not a Semite or a Shemite. They're not. Some people are an amalgamate or an assimilation of multiple bloodlines where they have one ultimate progenitor still, but muddied waters. You have other people where it's clear. That guy's a Gentile. Come from a long, strong bloodline of Gentiles. And they're going to be Gentiles to the day that this shit is over. I don't care if they're blue, black, purple, pink, pale, white skin, whatever fuck you want to call them. Okay? For real, for real. They wish they looked like this, y'all. They wish they did. They wish they had the brown skin, the beard, right on. You know, the the real calm type of face. My face looks extra calm. Like if anybody knows me, like anybody who really knows me, ever see me face up, like I don't look like I'm an angry person. I don't come off as an angry person. I'm not. On the inside, there's a lot of anger that I'm doing my best to exercise, but outwardly, I don't practice anger. Right on. Where there's people who walk around with a chip on their shoulder, body all tensed up. I never walk around with my muscles tensed up and all that. That's an overt sign of anger. And not to say that you're angry at the people that you're around, but you're angry about something. Relax, relax. Wasting all that precious life energy, tensed up. I need that energy for the real fight. I need that energy for the real thing. Right. I don't want to gas out before it's over. $2 leadership would have you to believe that you enjoying yourself is a crime and a sin. So if they enjoy their self, however they enjoy their self, that's okay. Now I'm gonna give you guys the differences. A man can make beer in his own home, make wine in his own home. Does not have to. The only thing he has to do is either have a vineyard or go and procure all the things he needs to make his beer and his wine. It's liquor. All right, on right. That's it. In order to have what you call a good time, you typically have to go somewhere. People are like, well, why is that such a bad thing? I'm like, did you conquer the land? Did you murder the natives? That because that's the only reason why you could be so comfortable. I'm never comfortable going places and trying to enjoy. I enjoy myself at home. I cannot enjoy myself somewhere where every once in a while it's like a movie. I'll just stand there and I'll just imagine something that could have happened there. I live in a state where this is the last real frontier for the natives. And every time I go outside, every time I look outside, like I'm looking out there right now, I just think of like the skirmishes and the battles that were fought here way before there were any invaders and settlers, how the land looked, how it was just full of trees and life. It's hard for people who don't have that kind of imagination to imagine what I'm saying. It's even more difficult for somebody who is reckless and careless to understand what I'm saying. It's difficult, people. It is. It's hard on the spirit. It's hard on the spirit and the soul. It's hard. It's hard on all of it. It's tough. You ever been somewhere enjoying yourself, and then all of a sudden it feels more like a flashback memory than it does anything else, and you're just imagining massive pain and suffering. And it's like, how can I even enjoy myself when I know how they got this? I know how this got like this. I can't enjoy myself. It's hard to think that I'm going to enjoy myself. It's difficult. You know, before I forget, because it's been in my mind now for like 10 minutes, I can't think of the verse, but there's a scripture in the Bible that pretty much says the only good thing we can do is cook a meal or make a meal for ourselves. Like that's the one good thing you can do. The only good thing. Did you know that? I because making babies, you might have committed adultery to do that. You might have been a fornicator to do that. You might have been a rapist to do that. Woo! But to make a meal, you don't have to hurt the land because they're designed like we're designed to consume. The same desire we have to consume is the same desire a carrot, a pea, a piece of corn, a tomato, right? A rutabaga, a yam, a sweet potato, right? Soy, ginger, anything you can think of that grows up out the earth, right? Anything that grows up off of a tree that's consumable, they have a natural desire for you to take them and to use them. What greater blessing could they have than to help you to live a better life, a greater life, a life with enriched fulfillfulness, feeling fulfilled truly? That's $100 leaders. That's thousand. That's innumerable number leadership. It has no number. It's bigger than Moses because carrots were here before Moses. Apples were here before Moses. And guess what? After Moses, they're still here. You cannot number their leadership because the Most High God put them here. His leadership is innumerable. He's such a great leader. He's such a powerful leader. He's such a magnificent leader that he would allow his inhabitants to bring themselves to the brink of destruction, then force them to live in peace. This is what free will gets you. That's the truest leader. His leadership is the free will version. Has no numerical value. Free will has no numerical value. If you want to bite your tongue off, you can. Nobody told you to do that. You want to fall out the window, you can. You want to hurt yourself, you can. In the same instance, if you want to preserve yourself the best way you know how to, you can. And no one can fault you for that. But a $2 leader will tell you if you don't lay down your life for me and my cause, you ain't one of us. Then bitch ass nigga, guess what? I ain't one of you. Fuck black empowerment. Fuck B1. Fuck all that shit, nigga. If it means a faceless faggot ass coward is in charge of everybody, got me fucked up, nigga. You ain't God, nigga. You gonna die one day, homeboy, and your ideology gonna die with you. Take that to the bank. Nigga, I am B1. I am black empower. I'm all that shit, nigga. Fuck all that shit if it's like that. Cause I've been that. Niggas are nothing about no fucking black excellence. Pussy ass niggas is begging for money. There's nothing excellent about you if every dollar of your daily fucking bread you get from people who have to go work for it. And even worse yet, you take money from murderers, killers, pimps, and fucking miscreants. You have to never talk about white supremacy. You bitch ass niggas. You got no legs to stand on. You never had any. At least Trump and them keep it 100. At least Trump says shit. We over there for the oil, homie. No lies. One of the greatest scenes in American cinema ever. A Few Good Men. He said, "What do you want?" He said, "I want the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth," right? And he says, "You can't handle the truth." And that's how I feel about a bunch of these bitch ass niggas. They feel like they can handle. They say they want the truth, the whole truth, or nothing but nigga, you can't even take the truth, nigga. Fuck you talking about. I'm telling the truth right now, and it hurts. It hurts. You know why it hurts? Because it's the truth, nigga. The truth always hurts somebody. Everybody don't feel good about the truth. That's the facts. And that's what Jack Nicholson was saying in so many words. Motherfucker, you wouldn't feel good about the truth if I told you the truth. Right. All that pompous, arrogance, fuckery that you niggas want to stand on. Right. You drive a Chevy Tahoe. You drive an Escalade. You got a Denali. You got a Navigator. You got a Range Rover, a Land Rover. Right? You got that. Yeah. I got that 911. Yeah, I got that Maserati. Y'all don't even know. Man. I could just keep naming cars on cars on cars. Dumb shit. You got that. Sure you do. Sure you do. On what though? On what merit? You act like you went into a fucking mine yourself, dug out all the ore needed, melted, smelted it, molded it, and put it to fucking together yourself. Act like you went into got all the copper yourself. I cannot stand these dudes. They act like they did something. Like I said, the only good thing you can do is make a meal for yourself. For yourself. Meaning, I didn't ask somebody to do it for me. I did it for me. It's the one thing for me I can do that's actually positive. Because everything else is destructive. Everything else takes from something else to give to me. They're not programmed like that. Think I'm lying? Think I'm think I'm tripping? When the immigrantes show up here, and they show up indeed, and they get everything that you worked for nothing. I mean, absolute nada. Puts nothing on that shit other than the blood, sweat, and tears, maybe at the border that they have to shed. Maybe have to shed. They get it all. You're telling me that those people are not a product of $2 leadership? They can do nothing for themselves. The only good thing they could do, they were doing that where they lived and didn't realize it's the only thing good. Once again, because they don't read, they don't know shit, they can't tell me nothing. They can't tell me nothing. I'm willing to explode somebody's whole face with my fist for trying to tell me I'm tripping. Right on? I don't even care. I, I don't care about your health more than I care about the truth. I mean, hit somebody as hard as I can hit them type of shit. Just bust that whole shit open where it'll never be the same again. They're gonna need fucking to get a skin graft for sure because I'm fucking shit up. That's how hard I want to hit people when I hear them try to deny the truth. Not deny me. You can deny me all you want. You want to deny the truth though? For that, you ought to be punished severely. So the next time that the truth is in your presence, the only thing you do is put your head down and fucking listen. Scared to death of a fucking white person. You're scared of them. The next time, listen, the next time I hear these dudes, let me, and I'm gonna tell you something. I never hear Professor Black Truth. I never hear the Black Authority. I never hear Tariq Nasheed. I never hear O'Shea. I never hear Anthony Brian Logan. I don't want to keep on naming everybody that I actually listen to. Okay, I don't want to just name them all off. There's a bunch of them. I never hear them say, you know what? Until you're willing to raise your hands towards your actual oppressors, you better not raise your hands with your brothers and your sisters. I'm not a $2 leader. I'll tell you that. Nigga, if you talking about what you'll do to me, because you better have did that to a white boy before. That's a fact. If you ain't did it to a white person, don't threaten me with it. Use a bitch ass, faggot ass coward in my butt. Nigga, that will get you deleted off this earth. That will get you removed. That will get your head slammed on the concrete multiple times. There's no need to hit you with a gun or a knife or nothing when I could just take it out on you physically. So that way, when you're like, please, no, 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 and I'm just blasting you with punches and just rubbing your face on the concrete, trying to take your flesh off, you're realizing, like, damn, this was a mistake I probably should have never made. It's okay. If it's not me, I pray it's somebody just like me making that ass feel it. Yeah. Yeah. So all that slick shit you talk about what you'll do to another brother, yeah, bitch ass niggas, if you won't do it to a white person first, you better shut the fuck up right now. And I mean right now. Talking like that about people who could be your fucking kinfolk. You fuck nigga, that could be first cousin to you for all you know. For all you know. And you talking about what you'll do to them. But you won't fucking bust a fucking grape in a fruit fight versus a pig-skinned swine-tillion. Man, you better sit your bitch ass down somewhere. For all you sisters out there so quick to call the police, don't ask brothers for help. Don't ask me. Don't ask my brothers. I don't ask nobody for help. You chose that. You chose that. Mm-mm. 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 You chose that. You did. You picked it. You picked it. Don't act like you didn't pick that. When I say what I say it from a point of view of actual love for the people. I do love the people. You know what I love though the most? I love the Most High God the most. And everybody on this earth is forgoable for him. He created this earth. It's his. It's as if every life that's on it now was had already existed anyway. And if every life was removed from it, it would be as if it was like that anyway. A bunch of cowards live on this earth. Like the little girl said in Rush Hour, nigga, push the goddamn button. Okay? Like I said in my last video, you niggas over here trying to scare people into mother fuck all that. Nigga, you gonna do it, do it. Other than that, shut the fuck up. Other than that, shut the fuck up. So if you're gonna stand up to fucking white folks, nigga, I don't need you to call it white supremacy. You stand up to anybody that's acting funny style. Anybody that would try to withhold from you and yours, nigga, you stand up to 'em. When I say withhold, meaning that you did all the requisite pre-required work to be in that position. I'm not asking for nobody to motherfucking dick pull for me. I don't need no dick pulling. Okay, no nut ride, no dick. I don't need none of that. Get off mine is how I feel. Right. Your $2 leaders have put you in a position. Your two, they're not my leaders. They could never be my leaders. Your $2 leaders. Yours being that you capitulate that they're leaders to you. I don't want to sound rude, but do people know I go around and I might see a name here or there in the comment section? I might see comments and I get around. Okay. I'm like pocking this bit. I get around. Okay. On everything I get around. I get around y'all. So I get to see what some people really think. I'm not saying it for y'all, but there's people who have come here before who they think totally different than what is that. Okay, for example, let me give you guys a prime example. If I left America right now and I went to, let's say, Ethiopia, of all places, right? Where I don't speak none of the language, don't give a fuck about the culture, nothing. Like I said, I don't care. But I go to Ethiopia and I create a spot where everything I'm making is all oxen, all cow, blah, 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 blah. I got none of that camel meat, none of that bullshit up in there, right? And I go and make a life for myself. I'm the kind of person that if I were to have children with the Ethiopian chick, I would let my son believe that the Ethiopians were the greater and that I was the lesser. Even if they thought I was the greater, I would teach them that these are the people you're around. You will do what they do. Right on. I mean, you're gonna do what I teach you to do, but you will be amongst them, so you're gonna do what they do. Now, everything they do, you won't do. But what I tell you to do, you will do. It's see, that's me. That's not $2 leadership. $2 leaders come to America, teach their children, you're better than these niggas. You're better than them. They mamas and daddies used to pick cotton in the fucking field. We never do that. Even worse, they come over here talking like this. Oi, mate. Yeah. Oi, oi, oi. Yeah, they come over here talking like that. You don't want none of that. You want the posh sounding individual teaching. Yeah, they're nothing like us, son. What? Yeah, you know they talk like that, did you? There's a bunch of them over there who sound funny style. Sound like they got somebody's package in their backside. That's why I never perfected a fucking British accent, even though I could easily talk like that. It's nothing to talk like that. To act like you could fucking talking like you got something fucking congested and somebody violating you. I mean, I'm cool, right on. I'm good on that. That's how they want to sound. That's how they want to sound. And that's me taking a shot at them. What they're gonna say to me. What they're gonna say. No, I'm lying. They come over here sounding just like that. Them niggas be from St. Lucia sounding like that. Niggas come from all over. Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica, all over. Niggas come from Haiti sounding like that. And want to get mad at me. And they think they're better than black people when they get here. Just for 2 generations in, they like, man, we all niggas. It took you 40 years to figure out they don't think you're any better than us? What's it called? Osculum effeminate or something like that? It means to kiss the devil's ass. Where I learned that from, Brother Scribe. And they don't want to hear this. These chicks don't want to hear this. Right on? These dudes don't want to hear this. A lot of them came here and kissed the devil's ass. They did more than kiss it, but we'll leave it there. They did some things to that backside they should have never done. All with their mouth. And want to tell me I'm less than them. Want to tell you, brothers and sisters. Yeah. Because some people are the children of people who came here with honor, integrity, dignity, and have seen the struggle, understand the struggle, know the struggle, live in the struggle. But there are many more who have been beneficiaries of the system of wickedness that is America, that is Babylon, that is an evil spirit. And they say to me and you that we ought to be grateful. But they know for a fact that everything that they have is because of $2 leadership. They know for a fact that what they gained, garnered, right on, gathered in this land was because of a leadership that was so lackluster that there is no leadership at a certain point with $2 leadership. You know, they got mad at me at the Italian spot, right? A day before I made that video, I had to do a wine dinner. And a day before that, excuse me, yeah, that's right. So I did a wine dinner one day. Then the day before that, or the day after the wine dinner, excuse me, I had went into work, and the individual that was supposed to be there showed up to work, and they tried to punish him, right? They tried to punish this man for not being there. Now, I'm not for sure, but I believe that the dude Eric is Jewish, and he took all those 7 days off for Hanukkah. I can't prove that. Now, did I go with Eric's neck for being Jewish and for taking days off for Hanukkah? Fuck no. I don't even care. When he was at work, they made it a point to make it hard on him. Can you hear me? They made it a point. They made it a point to make it hard on Eric. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I thought that was some bullshit. So that night, I'm helping Eric get squared away before we all leave. And I say to Eric, I say, yeah, man, $2 leadership is what most people practice. And it brought it to my mind. And I've been wanting to get this out of my mouth for about a couple weeks. But I'm telling Eric, I say, dude, I say, did he break down this? And this is like what happened. This is why I'm trying to tell y'all that there's more $2 leaders in the food industry than I've worked in most industries, y'all. I've worked in most. Okay. So it's hard for you to tell me that where you work, you have more $2 leaders. It's like there's a 16-year-old running the show where you work at. Not that I worked anywhere where a 16-year-old, but they had a little 18-year-old little girl on the line and ahead of me. And I'm like, I cook better than all these motherfuckers in here. But it's $2 leadership, bro. They thought to think to thunk that a motherfucker like that was worth more than a nigga like me. And her people, not from America, Norwegian, right on, can't do shit for themselves from a garbage ass country. No disrespect. That's just what it is. But they was mad because I said what I said to Eric. Eric inadvertently went back, or even purposely. He might have been hot with those motherfuckers. He might have been mad at me. He might have felt like he deserved that and was like, he called y'all $2 leaders. $2 leadership is worth as much as it sounds. They can be mad, sad. I don't give a damn. They better scratch their ass and get glad. Can you hear me? Before we go here in a little while, I gotta get this off my chest. My father used to say, when I die, bury me deep. Pour a bucket of honey on my feet. Bury me face down in the grass so I can fuck the world and tell y'all to kiss my ass. Listen, that's how I be feeling. That's how I be feeling right there, all the way, 100%. That's how I feel. Every day, all day of the week. Yeah, they can pour a bucket of honey on these motherfucking feet. Can you dig that? Yeah, I'm like that. I'm like the $2 leaders who got to come here, benefit off the land, do nothing with the benefit that they was given, and then complain about the fact that they was given benefits in the first place. I ain't never been in a situation where I seen so many people never do anything for themselves. I got the GoPro. I got it, y'all. I got the GoPro. Right on. And I got a bunch of stuff to go with him. I got the GoPro. And I got all my little this I want to say this is my accessory little case. I got just give me some time. Give me a month or so. Maybe not even that. I'm gonna show you what homelessness really looks like, as opposed to just walking up by people and uh, you can get to hear their stories. You can get to hear the stories. Don't worry, meat's gonna have a blade or the blick on them. It don't matter. So if they get stupid, I'm gonna put their ass down. But I'm not gonna have to do that because I'd rather buy you a meal, give you a couple dollars for your time. I don't want it for free. I don't want your story for free so I can go and post it and other people see it. Oh, no, 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 none of that weak shit. I'm right there, y'all. It's coming. I don't lead with $2. I can't. $2 is bus fare out here, okay? That's about, yeah, but and I didn't call it bus fare leadership because $2 won't get you everywhere out here. In order to get to Olympia, you're gonna need about 350. In order to get to Seattle, you're gonna need about $4 from where I live just to get on the bus. One shot, one way. Now you can get an Orca card that has a balance on it, that has a transfer on it, where God willing, you get to the municipality, the county you're trying to get to, you still might have another one or two bus rides left on that same $4. But you can't depend on that. You can't. See what I'm saying? That's how much $2 is worth here. It's worth one ride to us to one spot. Is that one ride going fucking make you take off and get you to where you need to get to? Will you be able to get back from that one ride? Mm. This is the truth. put a lot of time and thought into $2 leadership. I put more thought into the videos than I do uh physical, like I'm gonna be on a fucking tire with a sledgehammer until I figure it out. I don't do all that. I work out all on my own. I do all whatever I want to do all on my own. I don't need anyone to motivate me. It's nice to be motivated. It's encouraging to be motivated. It's fun too, but it's not a necessity for me. I will motivate myself. I will make myself get up. I don't drink coffee. That's why I laugh at people who talk about people who smoke weed and people who drink. It's like, nigga, I get up every day with more motivation and more energy than 99% of the people who drink coffee, dog. Like, for sure. Like, I get up with more natural energy than most of those people who drink coffee. For sure, for sure. This is a fact. You better go find a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old, or somebody like that with more energy than me. You better go find a youth, is what I'm saying. I got a bunch of energy. I just don't waste it. A real leader would tell you to conserve your energy, conserve all that for the real battle. We don't argue with people because of that. Arguing takes energy. You can converse and you can speak. Once it becomes to the point to where you're like, you know what? They're on some bullshit. You don't have to keep talking to them. Can you hear that? Wasting your fucking energy, wasting your breath. You don't have to do that when you're on the streets and you're with your family. See, because a lot of people, like no disrespect to guys that are fucking, with their families and shit like that. Like, bro, like I've been in charge of like watching people's whole families. Word. All the little children, all the little ones, all the little babies. We're talking like a dozen or more at a time, and they're all with me, and I got eyes on all of them. Diapers are being changed. They're getting warm bottles. They're being coddled. They're being loved. They're being chastened. They're being disciplined, but at the same time, they're being loved. Right on. They're being loved. I've dealt with a bunch of little babies at a time, and for days on end, that's nothing. Right on. You're just either gonna be responsible or you're not. You know who the smart little babies are. You know who the babies who have room for learning are. And you coach them up like that. You know the ones who need to hold your hand. You know the ones you can tell them just walk. They they don't need to be. They don't need it. They don't need that same coddling. They don't need to be pushed in that direction so much. I know what it's like to lead. I know what it's like to have people's lives in my hand. Right on, and I can make a decision that gets us all killed. I could make a decision that makes it to where we all go home. Right. I've been there. I've done that. So that's why I always laugh at guys like where it's like, when people talk about they're taking penitentiary chances. So what? Everybody takes a chance every day. If you work at fucking Fred Meyer, you take a chance on somebody coming up in there and trying to rob the place and shoot the bitch up because they couldn't get away with it. Same thing with Walmart or Kmart or anywhere else that's like that. Work at a convenience store. You take a chance on somebody coming there and sticking that bitch up, wanting cigarettes or beer, or they're just mad at the world and they figure out I can just take it out on you. Right. That's a real life chance they take. So nobody's taking any less chances. Unless you work from home, get your groceries delivered to you. You have a in-house gym or some shit like that, like where you just never have to leave. Like, sure, I guess you're totally insulated from these situations. But like if you're like a regular person who has to work for a living, has to do shit for a living, guess what, dog? Everything I just said does not apply to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to go out and deal with the world. You have to contend with the issues of the earth, whatever those issues may be that day. I paid $163 for this book and these papers. I have to study to take a test, right? I have to be ready by January 24th. But I'm gonna be reading and doing once again. I'm gonna be doing everything I need to do before all that. I'm gonna be doing everything I need to do tomorrow and forward. Like I just But follow my point though. I paid $163 for this. For this. That's what I paid $160 for. $200 almost. Septuagint. Look at that. $30. The secrets to life in here. Secrets to life. Things that I follow to this very day. $30. $30. Listen, okay. Follow me now. This one holds secrets to life. This one will help me hopefully get paid. Y'all took me where the $2 leadership is at. Can you hear what I'm saying? What's popping, Andre? What's up, bro? Yeah, man. I'm just trying to figure out, does anybody other than Meech, does anyone other than Meech see the problem with that? That I paid $30 for a Septuagint, and then I paid 160 some odd, right? 163 altogether. Almost 200 fucking bucks, dude. Almost $200. And I'm not even being a hater. Telling the truth. Telling the truth. I paid almost $200 for what might be 100 pages. I don't even think there's a page for every dollar, y'all. For them to tell me shit that I already know. You should have separate tongs, separate spoons for everything that a person could reach in with their gloves to grab. Yes. Mm-hmm. I know that. I knew that. I already know that. You should change your sanitization water every 2 hours. I knew that. I already know that. Right on. Every single time you change gloves, when it can be helped, you should wash your hands. I knew that. Already know that. You should have 7-day labels on every single item within the place. I knew that. Already know that. You should have a waste log sheet of everything that is waste or considered waste at the end of the day. I knew that. I already know that. You should treat others as you would like to be treated. You know what I'm about to say. I knew that. I already know that. Fact remains, though. I got to read the packet, learn the exact parameters for specific things they want me to learn. Go take the test. It ain't nothing to take the test. For $163, I'm gonna fucking basically have that whole book memorized. Like, and then in order to take that test, they say you have to take it for a food establishment as opposed to just being willing to take it for yourself. Completely bullshit and asinine. So I had to put down the name of a business that I may possibly use, which is Tacoma Sausage, you know, because when I get my little stand jumped out here, it's coming, y'all. Everything is coming. Already got my mandatory alcohol service training. I had to get on their ass about that. Uh, they said on November 17th they sent me a thing. It was in my spam folder, y'all. It wasn't in my actual. It's not spam promotions folder. It was in my promotions folder. It wasn't in my primary emails. Um, anyhow, I got this note saying that they sent back that they had to send. They had to send back my my Mask card because they fucked up. They never sent it in the first place. So I was like, what the fuck you niggas talking about? You never sent it. How can you tell me about something you messed up on and you never sent? So uh, anyway, nigga shit. So this is my thing. I have to wait for that, do all that, get the whenever I can get the time to do it. I got to go and do a bartender service course so I can become a licensed bartender, right? And the whole point of all this is so that way I can have my own shit right off rip. So if I have to apply for a liquor license, I'm gonna do everything I need to do to have my own everything. And it doesn't matter. I'm gonna start here in Washington, but I'm gonna work my way to the south. Like it's literally already happening. It's just it took me till I was in my 30s to really just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna just sit down on my punches and hit these niggas with everything that I got. And we'll see who wins. Right on. And I've taken their best. I've taken their best. And they have only have they've eaten 50% power, 60% power on these punches. They've been clean. I've been hitting them clean. And every once in a while I hit them hard, but I don't hit them clean. Does that make sense? I want to hit them clean. I don't give a fuck how hard I hit you. I want to hit you clean. Because if I can hit you clean, eventually I'm gonna hit you with everything I got on a clean punch. That's it. And then your ass is grass. So I don't worry about hitting you hard. I worry about hitting you. Make sure I can actually hit you first. And then once I know I can hit you, now I'll worry about hitting you hard. And then once I know I can hit you hard, now I'm trying to hit you with everything I got. Right. Yes. Baseline is basic level shit. You know, homeboys whose teeth got punched out on either side. I got because Steven saw him. Steve, if you still in here, tell these people you saw this dude. Am I lying when I say this nigga had teeth missing on either side of his face? Steven, tell the people, bro. Tell him am I lying or not, brother. If you still in here. He said he did, folks. The lie detector test says there is no deception. Okay. Okay. The lie detector test says that. Listen, I didn't listen, Steve. You ain't gotta get carried away now. You ain't gotta get carried away. We ain't gotta get carried away. No, I don't want niggas in here thinking I'm a violent animal now. All right, Steven? You gotta tone it down a little bit. You gotta tone it down. You gotta tone it down, all right? You don't want nobody thinking I'm a violent animal up in here. Okay. All right. You gotta tone it down just a little bit. So, as I was saying, homeboy moved, punched out teeth on either one of this dude's side. And I'm not even playing with nobody. I I hit this dude, but I didn't get to give him that. Whew, I'm taking everything out on you. You feel me? I didn't get to give him none of those. I didn't get to give him. I'm gonna take my father dying out on you. I'm gonna act like you sold him a fucking fatal dose of dope. I didn't do him like that. But it killed that dude in there. That's why I be like people who don't. And it's not no talking shit. I'm not a big person. Steve knows me. Steven has seen me a bunch of times. Okay. Andre has seen me. I'm not a big body person. I'm not. I'm not a huge person. But I'm convicted. And I believe in myself. I believe in the most high God first and foremost, but I believe in me. I believe that he wants me to succeed. So I'm gonna do what I have to succeed. Right on? God is righteous. The most high God is righteous. I'm not a $2 leader. I want everybody to win. I want all the people who live for the Most High God to win. I'm willing to take the L so they win, just so they could be like my nigga Meech, okay? In the end, right on, and give me one more fucking 21 gun salute, bang bang bang, bang bang bang, bang bang bang, okay, with the guns in the air. Yeah. I know, but I didn't do nothing. All I did was encourage you to be the best person you could be. That's all I want you to do is be the very best version of you that is available to search deep in that soil that the Most High God planted within your mind, within your heart, within your soul, and to cultivate the greatest parts of you that ever existed. I might not be a $10 leader, but like I told you, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. And if they're lucky, if they don't get to kill me before I get to blossom and bloom, oh, I'm gonna be more than a $10 leader before it's all said and done. Right on. We're gonna be able to go and shop for a couple groceries, fucking with Meech. It has been a blessing and an honor to have met, known, seen, touched, shared with, cried with, laughed with, all the people I've ever been on this earth with. It has been, man, a beautiful honor. Handful of people I called when my father passed away. Handful. A lot of people I was hurt to tell that my father had died because I knew that they would be hurt. I I knew it, but I didn't do the selfish unleadership thing, which is take my father, have him buried in the Arlington National Cemetery, and never say a word to anybody about it, and act like he was still living, act like he was still with us, and act like he was just on a vacation or whatever, right? And just be in permanent denial that he died. Instead, I embraced it and I said, okay, my father's gone. A real leader died on me. A true leader, innumerable in the effect and the impact that he had on other people's lives. So to put a number on it, I'd have to say it was at least $7 leadership. It's much more than two. Wasn't a whole $10, but it was at least $7. You can go and buy yourself a beer, a bag of chips, maybe a little cold sandwich and a drink, cheap chips, whatever, right? You might be able to get yourself a little cheap meal or a nice little hunk of meat, and some vegetables. Like you might be able to do something with that $7 now, okay? A little $3 steak, carrot, an onion, a piece of celery, and a potato. You might be able to really get a whole meal out of this. You see what I'm saying? So it just depends on how you spent it. But his leadership was worth much more than $2, and it was worth more than the leadership that you guys think I exhibit now. My father was easily the greatest person I've known, greatest man, flawed and all, flawed and all, greater than myself, and I say that happily. Uh, so I'm hoping to surpass that leadership one day and more than double it. Give the people what they need. Give the people what they've asked for. I want to help put the people in a position to summon the greatest, to speak to the greatest frequency, to harness the greatest frequency, the only frequency that actually lives, and all others live inside of it. To bring that to the forefront, that it may do justice to all the injustices that have happened on this earth. I watched this year take place in a vacuum in so many ways. There's 2 points in this year for me. There's and my year is different. My new year doesn't start till April. Right on. So late March, early April. There's before the new year, and my father passed away and everything. And then there's after that point in the new year. And I had to like really fight and fight and fight and fight some more just to just to be where I'm at, you know. Uh, this is it's man, it's been a fight, brother. And I read that, and you ain't never lied. The crumbles can build a cake over time. Don't retract that. No, that was the one. That was the one, bro. I love that message. No, I'm gonna put that in here. Okay, so that way the people get to see crumbles can build a cake over time. You never lied. You never lied. Crumbles build a cake over time. Ah, there we go. Bang bang. Aha! It doesn't. No, it won't escape, homie. It won't escape. That was real. That was real. That was real life. What you just said. And I don't want the people to miss out on a blessing just because you felt like you overshot it or nah, that was real, bro. That was real. That is all the way the truth. I don't know if y'all remember my 2 pennies to make a dollar, right? You know what I'm saying? And this is almost inverse to that. Word? This is almost inverse. I'm gonna put my 2 cents on something to make it a complete dollar. But a dollar leadership is nothing. I'd rather we just keep putting 2 pennies on 2 pennies on 2 pennies, and we have an invaluable leadership. And this is based on 2 cents. 1 cent if they can't keep up, but two for sure if they're the people. And the 2 pennies that he just laid down just now, I can't let that. No, I can't let him put that back in his pocket, y'all. I'm a borrow those 2 pennies and give him 2 pennies back. Okay, crumbles can build a cake over time. They ain't never lie. A lot of people don't know about rebaking what you've already baked. People do this all the time in cooking. Right on. Breadcrumbs, for example, are a fine point of this, where they'll take the real life breadcrumbs. They don't even make breadcrumbs. There's so much bread that was made, the residual is enough to take and to make something out of it. Right. You see what I'm saying? That's the real life. That's the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Opulence is what they lived in. And to say that they lived in anything less would be like a disregard to like real life history. But I know exactly what you're talking about, bro. You know what I mean? We're not talking about right now. We're talking about back in the day. You know, and most people have probably never ever in their life even heard of a side pie. Yes, it's called a side pie. SIDEPIE. Side pie. And what it is, these are what those little desserts in the store, those little pies in the store come from. Where it's a like the one of my favorite was like the lemon field as a child growing up. That lemon field pie with the little glaze on the outside, one of my favorite snacks all time. It's got to be a top three from when it actually used to taste the way it used to taste till now. It's different now. Like then after that it's either pear or apple. But blackberry's too sour. Never got into the sour taste of the blackberry. And I eat them. Ah, not really though. That lemon pie, give me some of that right now, right now. That's a side pie. And what you do is you take the you take the lemon, the inside of it, you juice it, you juice it, you take some of the filling of the lemon and you throw it into the pot, bunch of sugar, some water, make it into a glaze. A thick glaze, almost like a it's not a custard because it doesn't have any kind of cream or nothing like that in it. But once the glaze settles, it's so thick and so hard that when you can put it on the dough and it doesn't saturate into the dough. Right on. Boom. Fold it over. Obviously, you can butter it, whatever, 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 and you put it back in the oven to bake. That's a side pie. They made a business out of side pies. My father, growing up, used to get side pies all the time from his grandmother, right? And and from his mom, but his grandmother more or less. And he's always telling me, he'd be like, son, he'd be like, those are some of the best things I ever had in my whole life. Some of the best desserts I ever had ever. And I'm like, better than the stuff we eat now? He's like, much better. This is a man who kept it real, okay, with me my whole life. The only time he lied to me was about when I had asked him a couple weeks before his demise, before he transitioned on us. And I asked him, was he clean? And he told me with a straight face, yeah, son, I'm not getting high. Right on. And before that, we had always had an open relationship where I could ask him like, bro, what's up? And he'd tell me, and I'll be like, you need to slow down. You need to stop. You can't make nobody stop being who they are. You can't. All you can do is love them. But before I get too off on a tangent, let me just get back to my $2 leadership. Let me say this: the side pies that I know that my father experienced, that I was told about, are better than the things that are pies that people go and buy right now at the store. Now, do I call what they get $2 leadership all out? And I can't, but it is. Does that make sense? They get the least of the least of the least, and they have to pay the most of the most of the most. That's $2 leadership. Y'all made it okay. I'm not saying you guys, but I'm saying y'all, the whole community, the whole everything. Y'all made it okay for McDonald's to produce meals that cost them not even a dollar and sell them for $12, $13. Y'all made it okay for McDonald's to produce meals that don't even cost them $2 and sell them for almost 20. You made it okay. You said it was business. So you can't get mad now that people are doing business on you. Your $2 leaders have shown up to be exactly what they were worth. Can you buy shoestrings for $2, people? I don't want to sound derogative, but as I get ready to roll out, you know what $2 is worth? Some ass paper. That's what it's worth. $2 is worth 4 rolls of ass paper. That's what it's worth. We leave on this note, and I mean this: the leaders that you have entrusted with your life and people before you entrusted your lives into have leadership that's as worth as much as toilet paper. I salute you. I salute you again. And I salute you once more. Their leadership is worth enough to wipe your ass with.